Okay. So again, we're getting back into writing and solving equations. These are all going to have decimals in them. All right, so but the process, everything's exactly the same. The same types of story problems, the same types of equations that we're writing, the same types of game plans, it's all going to be the same again. So we're getting back into practicing solving equations, writing game plans, writing equations from story problems. All right, but these, we're in 3.5, we're going to be solving equations using adding and subtracting with decimals. So solving equations by adding / subtracting decimals. All right, so let's just dive right into solving some equations. And then we're going to get into story problems. All right, so I have n plus 4.5 is equal to 9.7. All right, someone tell me what to do. So this should be a really nice review for you with remembering how to solve equations. What do? Come on. This you guys should be able to do in your sleep. Angela? No, not necessarily. What is the right word? Excellent. And? Excellent. All right, so my 4.5s cancel each other out. I have n equals. I do agree with you, Angela, that we're doing 9.7 minus 4.5. The important thing to remember, please don't do it yet. The important thing to remember is when subtracting, the bigger absolute value must be on top. This is something I notice in some of your homeworks and some of your work that you're not. The bigger absolute value has to be on top. And here it is, so we can go ahead and do this subtraction. So I end up with 5.2. All right, so let's take a look at another one. All right, this is just kind of getting us ready for the skills and getting the skill stuff done. So let's say I have k minus 14.4. Let's do k minus 18.39 is equal to a negative 14.4. All of you do this, please. Remember, do adding the opposite first. Remember, you have to line up your decimal points when you're subtracting. Pierre, what should I do? So I did add in the opposite. Now what? Excellent. So did you go ahead and set this up so it's 18.39 minus 14.4? You switched the order? Okay, and what did you come up? What goes right here after the 4 then, Pierre? Yeah, that's a placeholder. It's going to be a 0. Now what? What do you get as your answer? How many of you guys got 3.99? All right, well, let's check it. So 9 minus 0 is 0, or is 9. I'm going to change that 8 to a 7 because I need to borrow. 13 minus 4 is 9. 3 yep, I agree with that. Positive or negative? Yep. How many of you guys are cool with these skills? Okay. Let's talk quickly about reminding us how to start story problems, how game plans need to be written. Who needs to see what's up there? All right. So let's talk about story problems. Again, these are not new story problems. The only difference is in these story problems we're going to have decimals. So, how do story problem game plans have to be written? What's my requirement for writing game plans, Frankie? Yep. Parts equal my whole. Usually, do not put subtraction in game plans. The only time we do is when we have like a before and an after. So our exception is when we have a before amount and an after amount. That's the only exception. When we have a before amount and an after amount. Alright, so we always want parts equal to our whole. Our whole is the total we are measuring. Alright, you're writing this down. If I'm writing, you're writing. Frankie, if I'm writing, you're writing. The parts, if you remember, are the individual things that make up the whole. So the individual things that make up the whole. So this is just a quick review. Alright, and we're just going to dive into some story problems. Alright, so my whole is the total of whatever we're measuring. The parts are the individual things that make up the whole. The only exception when we might have subtraction is if we have a before amount and an after amount. Alright, so I recommend that you draw this picture. I think drawing pictures and getting a visual of something is super helpful. It will help you figure out what your game plan is. I want all of you right now to work on this. You may work with people by you if you need to. Try and do it on your own. So draw that picture so you have a picture of what it looks like. When you're done, just put the words 1,000 miles at the end. Just deal with those decimals. Now, I'm not looking for you to approximate this as in you're rounding. You're using these exact numbers. It's approximate because these are approximate distances themselves. So you're not rounding these. When you're done, check with someone's eating by you. See if you guys got the same thing. you're having troubles, check with your game plan before you do your work. So as you're looking at that drawing, you're looking to see what is the whole that I am measuring here. What's the full piece of something? What are the parts that make up that whole? Talk to somebody, talk to somebody. I don't mind you guys helping each other. Information here is our whole. What information here is our whole? Yeah. Talk super loud, sweetie. So that's the distance from the Earth to the Moon, right? How do you know that's our whole? I agree with you. How do you know that's our whole? Okay, someone help her out. How do you know the distance from the Earth to the Moon is your whole? Layla? Yeah, how many of you guys notice that if I look at these two parts kind of, if you put them together, they make up that whole long distance. How many of you guys notice that? Alright, so that's how you know that has to be your whole. So you should be writing as your whole the distance from Earth to Moon. Right? And as Layla said, our parts are going to be the distance from Earth to satellite plus the distance from the satellite to the Moon. So that should be your game plan, what Layla said. And then you're figuring out your equation from there, and then you're doing your math. When you're done, put your pencil down so I know you're finished. And I'm going to go ahead and just write that game plan down because we've just talked about it. So it's going to be the distance, Earth to satellite, plus the distance, satellite to Moon. And they've told us the distance from the satellite to the Moon, that is our X. How many of you guys had that game plan? Awesome. All right. Somebody write my equation for me now. Kira? Excellent. Now what? Excellent. So I have X equals... What did you get as your final answer? And this is going to be 1,000 miles. And remember, you have to write a sentence. So somebody, now that Kira's done the hard work, and Layla have done the hard work, now someone write our sentence for me. Mateo? Excellent. Distance from the satellite to the Moon is 2,117.6 thousand miles. How many of you guys got that one? Okay. Let's look at another one. Questions on this one? Okay. All right. The next one is similar to our exception. All right. So this is our, so when we have, I'm going to put a little note here. When subtraction could be in a game plan. So if we have a before amount plus a change equals the final amount. When this is our game plan, it is possible that we have subtraction because this change could be adding an amount or subtracting an amount. All right, so this is when you may have subtraction in your game plan. You know, when we are subtracting something off. All right, so I want to show you a story problem, and you've got to decide, again, your parts equal to your whole. God bless you. Your before is always a part. So your before or your original, this is original or previous, that's another way to say it, amount. These are always a part. And your final is always a whole. So keep that in mind. Your final is always going to be a whole when you're talking about before and an after, or an original and a final. All right, so let me show you this story problem, and I want you guys to do this. All right, go ahead and do this story problem, please. When you write a check, how does that affect your bank account if you write a check to somebody? Alex, who takes money out of your bank account? Okay. That's the same thing as a debit. You guys ever heard of a debit card that takes money out of your bank account? What puts money into your bank account? What would put money into your bank account? What is that called? What do you think, ma'am? Interest you could make, I agree. But how can you, what is it called when you put money into your bank account? Angela? That's a deposit. When you're done, check with someone sitting by you. See if you guys got the same thing. Help each other out. I hope all of you looked at what we just said in our notes to kind of help you out with your game plan. All right? All right, so somebody write our game plan for me. Go ahead, Mateo. So minus the check amount is new balance. Excellent. I do agree that that's an X. If you said plus, well, let's finish off with Mateo, and then I'm going to say this. Go ahead, Mateo. Tell me what you're going to do. Excellent. Excellent. Sweet. 311.85. And that dollar sign is before your numbers, not after. So Mateo, tell me what your sentence would be. Sweet, nice work. Previous balance was $311.85. How many of you guys got that? Awesome. The other way that you could have written this game plan is you could have said that this was addition. But if you notice, Mateo was very smart. He did X minus a positive 76.5. All right, if you did addition here, then yours would be what he did after he did adding the opposite. Okay, so I would have taken either one of those. You're either subtracting a positive amount for the check or you're adding a negative amount for the check. Those are the two of the same thing. How many of you guys got that? Awesome. Let me show you guys another one. We're just going to kind of work on some more of these. I want you to do number 2 right here. So I want you to do number 2. Remember, parts equal to your whole. Remember, write your givens down. These problems are a guide for you for your homework. All right, so make sure you are writing your givens down so when you read it, God bless you. When you read it, these problems make sense to you, that you know what you were talking about to begin with. Let me give you a tip here. There should not be subtraction in this game plan. This is not a before and an after. This is a parts equal to your whole of addition. Someone give me my game plan. All right, Pierre, you're up. Is that like the length that's left? Yeah. Or I'm going to say length left. Okay. Total length? Excellent. How many of you guys had that game plan? All right, that should exactly be it. What don't I know there, sweetie? The length left, so I'm going to put my X there so I know what X stands for. All right, go ahead and write my equation now. Sorry, I was looking at different numbers. So 8.75, you're good. Okay. Awesome. Keep going. What should I put here? Put a 0 there. Don't leave a blank. Put a 0 there. Okay, what do you get for your final answer, honey? How many of you guys got 5.75? All right, let's just check it. So this becomes a 4. That's your 5. This becomes a 3. That's going to be a 7. That's 13. I agree with that. So what's my sentence then, Pierre? Because you have to write a sentence. Excellent. How many of you guys got that? Awesome. All right, let me give you guys another one. Who needs to see what's up there? Okay. So this is from the other book. All right, go ahead and do this problem, please. When you're done, check with someone sitting by you. All right, let's finish this one up. All right, so it says a chipmunk, its weight decreases while it's hibernating. The weight decreases by 0.3 pounds while it's hibernating. After it hibernates, the weight they had, this one particular chipmunk has is 0.35 pounds. What is its weight before hibernation? All right, somebody write this for me. All right, Erin, go ahead, sweetie. Excellent. All right, so go ahead and write our equation for us. All right, so you did subtraction, and you had subtracting a positive 0.31, and then you did adding the opposite, right? Awesome. Keep going, sweetie. And that would be pounds, right? So what would be your sentence? Excellent. How many of you guys are getting a much better understanding, and you guys are doing a better job of writing your game plans? All right, those can be the hardest part, right? Do you guys feel, how many of you guys feel like a ton better since the beginning of the school year? Awesome. Okay, we're done. Well done, you guys.